Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Kayla Smith, CEO of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L Society, a woman's health hub for fertility, hormones, and the business of coaching, creator of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L method, an infertility warrior, two-time boy mom, and women's health expert. This podcast is for women struggling with infertility, painful periods, terrible PMS, or really any symptom of hormone imbalance that they are ready to eliminate for good. Tune in weekly because we will be interviewing amazing experts in the field of women's health, breaking down those hormone walls, nerding out on nutrition, and having way too much fun. Whether you're just beginning your fertility journey or you've been struggling for years, we are going to finally help you put those pieces of your hormone puzzle back together so that you can get pregnant and eliminate those pesky symptoms for good. Are you ready? Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's get started on your road to transformation. Hey, gorgeous. Welcome back to the show. I am so excited to have you here. Each week, we're going to talk to some amazing experts and really dive into topics all around fertility. So you're not going to want to miss a single show. If you haven't already, take a minute and hit that subscribe button. That will ensure that you never miss a single episode. So we'll take 1 second. We can wait. Hit that button and make sure you're all set. Also, I would be forever grateful if you would leave us a review on iTunes. This will help more people find this show, and it will allow us to help even more women on their journeys with fertility and hormones. And this is how iTunes decide who is shown what. So this way you can do your part to help the infertility community, and it would make me so very excited. So thank you. I would be forever grateful if you would do that for me. Thanks, gorgeous. And now let's get on with the show. Nathalie Carpenter is the Chief Marketing Strategist and founder of Well Plus Luxe, as well as an infertility awareness changemaker, speaker, writer, and blogger at Fertilust. Nathalie has 19 plus years of luxury brand marketing and communications experience, working with brands including Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari, Highgate Hotels, Goose Vodka, and Red Bull, just to name a few. As a result of her experience with infertility and passion for health, she pivoted her love of marketing to wellness and nutrition and supporting the infertility community. Nathalie holds a plant-based nutrition certification from eCornell, is a Nutritious Life certified, and is board certified holistic health practitioner. Please welcome Nathalie to the show. Hey, Nathalie, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little more about you, who you are, what you do, and your story with infertility.
Okay. So I am a former corporate brand marketer that had been in the space for 20 years, focused on luxury auto and spirits and hotels and all sorts of fun, fancy stuff. I decided to pivot all of that in the last few years based on my fertility journey and experience. Within that, the love and the passion that I grew for nutrition and wellness and self-care, that really helped me reconstruct that side of my life. I am a recovering workaholic and type A. I'm an IVF mama to a wonderful, almost always sweet, she's a toddler, so almost always sweet little as a result of my third IVF and the only embryo that I've ever received that was viable. Actually, wow. It was the first round I'd ever gotten an embryo, and that was the first round that I actually received a viable embryo. And I have been sort of in and out of IVF life since 2016 after several IUIs that didn't work. And we moved into those IVFs and then got lucky on that third round. We did another round between last year and the beginning of this year. And sadly, that did not result in a pregnancy. A lot of realizations and learnings that came from that experience for me. It only solidified my interest and excitement about how incredible this infertility community is and why I want to continue to be in support and of service to it. And not only just the community, but also the brands and the resources that I think are so incredible that everybody should know about because they helped me or they've helped others that I know. Yeah, I've just told you a lot about me. Okay, I think that's good for now.
I love it. Yeah. Our listeners are probably walking some sort of fertility journey. So what would be the top 3 that would help them?
So when I was tracking my cycle, I'm sort of in a pause right now. Obviously, just had a very strange year, just like so many of us. So while I was, actively doing treatment or even not when we were trying in between just to see because, never lose hope.
Right.
I'm a big fan of an ovulation kit called Pearl. So that's something that I really subscribe to. I think that their data and their analytics and the information that they've been able to put together and really sort of help form what the ovulation process looks like, not just on the day, but leading up to is really helpful and quite frankly, just blew my mind. Yeah, just wonderful. That was a great find. I am a huge fan of Pre-Mama Wellness. It's another great brand. I like their hydration style supplement that I'm a really big fan of. I'm a huge, huge fan of probiotics. It's one of the very first things that I do in the morning. So very first thing in the morning is get a glass of water, drink that with a little bit of lemon, and take my probiotic. My favorite probiotic that I take, it doesn't mean it's right for everybody, is the Natron Healthy Trinity. And I love that because it just makes me feel better. Maybe it's in my head, but it makes me feel more focused. It makes me feel more regular. Also makes me feel just like I am starting my day to a way that I'm kickstarting my metabolism. So yeah, huge fan. And for anyone who's listening that's interested in probiotics, it's so good for your gut. And it does kind of kickstart your metabolism for the day. And you don't necessarily need to go Natron Healthy Trinity. Just make sure you go with a really good refrigerated style probiotic that gluten, dairy free, because of all the sensitivities and all the things that so many of us have.
Totally. I'm a huge fan of probiotics. It's one of the main supplements that I recommend. And I think everybody can benefit from a good probiotic, but definitely check with your doctor. We're not trying to prescribe anything here, but just check with your doctor. But I think our listeners could definitely benefit from that. So, and I'm going to have to check that brand out. I haven't heard of them. So I am curious.
I love them. Before I got into nutrition myself, because I was just so frustrated about having someone else tell me, to be honest, I went and saw a registered dietitian, and she had recommended that particular probiotic because I think at the time I was taking something kind of gross, from the supermarket, and not that bad thing, but off the shelf, off the things. That was a really good learn for me.
Yeah.
I've been into it ever since.
I love it. So let's talk about nutrition a little bit. How do you think nutrition has benefited you in your journey? And do you think nutrition is an important piece for people going through infertility?
First and foremost, let me caveat by saying, I don't think that nutrition is the end all be all, right? I don't think if you have, serious medical issues, that is going to be the thing that turns around everything and helps someone get pregnant on their own. I mean, I think that it's amazing and it has worked for some people, but I don't think it's the end all be all. I want to caveat that because I think there's so much judgment in that sort of discussion around nutrition. Well, you have to eat this, you have to eat that, all the different things. What I will say and why nutrition has played such a key piece in my journey is because it, quite frankly, like it made me feel better. It made me, just in terms of my cycle, not that I was never irregular per se, but it helped me get more in tune with my body, more so than I ever had before. And that also translated into my cycle, even like the signs that you get during your cycle. Like I actually like got the signs, which I didn't necessarily always get. And that was really amazing. Like I knew when I needed to, I listened to myself and I knew when I needed to hydrate more. I knew when I needed maybe a little bit more iron. Like it was interesting. It was like, I actually subscribe to listen to your body in that regard. I don't necessarily subscribe to the listen to your body when it tells you like you need X, Y, and Z, because that's not necessarily always accurate when you don't know what you don't know, if that makes sense. But when you do know your body really well, I think that there are signs. And that's maybe why that statement was invented in the first place. But I never really knew my body before really delving into my fertility journey and really nutrition, quite frankly. And I think that because I am a bit type A, I think that nutrition was also a way for me to control one aspect of the journey that I could, right? Because I couldn't control the outcome, but I could control what I put into my body, right? Like and what I ate and how I consumed and all of the different things. Like that was really a huge game changer. And I think I really needed to find something that I could also do beyond just what the doctor was telling me to inject into my body, right? And I really felt like I was my own case study, because my first two IUIs and my first two IVFs, so my first 4 treatments, I just ate everything. Like I ate whatever I wanted all of the time. And in many ways, I thought I was really lucky. But in many ways, I realized that maybe I was masking a really, no pun intended, wow, a bigger issue later on. And so after my second failed IVF, and by this point I was working with my 4th doctor in New York City at the time, I just felt like I needed to get in the game. I needed to do something, and I needed to take control somehow. And so I did a ton of reading. I read a book called It All Starts with the Egg, which I'm obsessed with still.
Love that book. Yes.
It's a good foundation. I think there are skeptics just like everything else, but like I love that book because it gave me a taste of you can control your process a little bit. And you can do that by what you put in and on and around your body, right? And so I loved that. So that sort of piqued my interest enough that I went to nutrition school to get my holistic health practitioner's certification. And a lot of people in the program with me were doing that because they wanted to be a health coach professionally and work with others. And I thought that was noble and wonderful and so amazing. My goal in being in there was literally because I wanted to learn about nutrition and how to nourish myself, and like, how can I potentially grow life? Because I'm having a really hard time with it, right? And that's where I was at the time. So I went through nutrition school while I was still in corporate America, was just kind of playing around with that. And I started to just feel better. I felt so much better. I felt like I knew my body better, like I could react to things better. So in a nutshell, nutrition really allowed me to take control of what I otherwise felt like out of control with. So I am so grateful that I found nutrition because it helped me feel a little bit more assertive and in control during the process. It most definitely is something that I thought might just be for like a little period of time, but it turned out to be an entire lifestyle goal and change. And I wouldn't go back to save my life. I really wouldn't, because how I feel now is entirely different than how I used to feel when I really just did a bunch of grab and go and didn't really care about what I was putting into my body other than just trying to have fuel.
I completely agree. And I feel like nutrition was one of the big factors in me getting pregnant and staying pregnant. But I always say, like, I was healthy before, but now I'm like healthy 2.0. So when I went to health coaching school and learned more about nutrition, I can completely relate to that. It's like you feel better, and now this is just your lifestyle, and it's so amazing. So
It's
I
true.
love that you're talking about this.
It's true. And if I'm being like so candid, I mean, if you're looking for more detail, I will say, and again, like, there's no way that I can ever prove this, but what I will say is that my first and second rounds of IVF, when I wasn't in like the nutritional headspace, I had 8 and 9 eggs respectively within those 2 rounds with no embryos. And my third IVF cycle, actually, when I got my little health coach certification and had knowledge and practiced it, I had also taken like 7 months off. So by this point, I was a year older. So I got 16 eggs.
Wow.
And and 2 embryos, and 1 was viable. I mean, listen, It's like, that's a big change from where I was at. And even when we did our 4th IVF in this sort of new lifestyle that I've had, and at that point, I'm 3 years older than my 3rd IVF, I had less eggs, but from that, I still got one healthy embryo. And from that one healthy embryo, it happened to be viable. So I think that there is definitely a play in nutrition, whether it is 100% the reason, right? Like, I don't know. I just know that it worked for me. And why wouldn't you just, as a human being, want to feel at your best all of the time, regardless of this process, right? I mean, this process is super important, but like beyond that, like, why wouldn't you want that for your whole life? And I feel like that was the game changer for me.
Amen. And I completely agree. It's like, it's not going to hurt you to eat good, balanced, whole food nutrition. So why wouldn't you, And if it helps you, even better. So right. I love that you're saying that. So talk to us a little more about some foods that you think are kind of your top fertility picks. Like, what are some of your favorites?
I mean, I'm obsessed with avocados. Obsessed.
Me too.
I mean, it's so funny because they kind of look like a womb sort of thing, right? You have
yeah.
a big, like, seed in the middle. I'm obsessed. Like, I will eat avocado at least once a day, whether it's avocado toast on Ezekiel bread or with my eggs. I'm a big fan, by the way, of like non-GMO, organic style types of foods. But yes, avocado, like, I will find a way to incorporate it into a lot of different things. Even if it doesn't work, I feel like I will find a way to make it work.
Right.
And hemp seeds. I am obsessed with hemp seeds. I talk about like something that I put on like everything. Hemp seeds go into my smoothies. They go onto my oatmeal. They go into my daughter's sandwiches. Like, she's a big fan of almond butter and jelly sandwiches. So I'm like, okay, how can I sneak some extra nutrition in there? So I'll sprinkle the hemp seeds into her sandwich. I put them in salads. Like, I feel like they are like one of my favorites. And smoothies are like my everything. Like, I probably have a smoothie once a day, and I love that I can have that nice balance, proteins and good fats and good carbs all in one place, and get that in like a really yummy, I don't know. I love the consistency of smoothies because it's kind of like melted ice cream. Like, it's like,
I say milkshake for breakfast, your smoothie is your milkshake. I love it.
I like, so those are like 3 foods that really like speak to me. And again, a smoothie is not just like one food, it's like an everything food, but like a great smoothie with berries, like strawberries, blueberries for your carbs, and maybe banana with spinach for your protein. Again, throw in those hemp seeds, a little added extra good stuff, maybe some flax, and then I'll put like a good fat in there. And usually that comes in the form of an avocado.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if for some reason I'm out of an avocado, I use something called granola butter. So
Oh,
you were
wow.
asking earlier about like one of my favorite like foods. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure. I'm kind of obsessed with granola butter. There's a brand called Queen, Kween, and yeah, I'll have to like put it up on my site so that like people can find it.
I've got to look for this because I'm obsessed with like butters, like nut butters of all kinds are my favorites.
It's like, it's so yummy. And they have a version with vanilla, so it has a little bit of like a teeny little bit of vanilla. The sugar levels are like, even the vanilla are not crazy. In the standard one, it's like practically nothing. And again, like I'm big into like really not having any extra sugars or anything like that. So yeah, those are some of my favorite things. And if you don't have granola butter, almond butter is great too. Some people like yogurt, a good Greek yogurt. I tend to stay a little bit more away from some of the yogurt stuff just because, I mean, I'll have it once in a while, but just because of the dairy, and that doesn't work for me, but it works for others, and that's cool. Yeah. So sorry, we could go on and on about food.
Yeah.
I could talk to you about food for a really long time. So
Me too. I digress. So talk to me a little about how you decided to pivot into wellness from luxury brands.
So I loved what I did in luxury brand marketing forever. I mean, like I really loved it. It was so much fun, and I felt challenged yet excited and all of the different things. Like I loved it. And it really like drove me, no pun again intended, because I worked in cars for so long. Wow. But I think I got to a place where I felt like once I had my baby, I think I didn't want to travel all the time. I didn't want to be away. And I also felt like I wanted to be able to better serve my community and give back, because I had gotten so much out of it, especially during my third IVF when the community really started to grow, and it felt like I actually like knew people and didn't feel so alone. And maybe that was also part of the reason that I had a better outcome in my third IVF. Is like I finally had support from others that were in it or going through it or had for the very first time. But I digress. I think I just got back to a place where I wanted to be able to serve and give back and do things in a meaningful way. So on the one hand, being able to, serve the community and give back in a way that I had received, and even more because again, it was still growing, and I wanted to be able to give all the things that weren't available when I had first started. And then the other part was also like, I have this almost 20 years worth of brand marketing skills and expertise. Like, I don't want that to entirely like fall by the wayside. How can I make that pivot and still preserve that element and bring that to life? So it really was all about community for me, and it was all finding a way that I could do marketing but just serving a different set of brands and consumers effectively as a result of that. So that really is what forced me to say, all right, this was really fun. And I loved, working in luxury brand marketing. It was awesome, but it was time. It was just time to do something different that really like filled me up. And I felt like I could actually give back in a way that was meaningful.
I love that. And I love that you're talking about this because I find that it's so important as women to know when it's time to pivot. I did the same thing. I worked in the running industry for a very long time. And when I started going through infertility and, I was traveling a lot. And so it was just time to pivot that career and still work in health and wellness and fertility, but not maybe in corporate America. So, and I think that's important for women to know that it's okay if you do that. You can have a 20-year career and still pivot and still come out on the other side doing something that you love and that is going to help your community. So that's a wonderful story.
100%. And I think sometimes, like, listen, I think that there's things that hold us back, like our ego, right? Like, oh my gosh, but like, how scary, like, don't want to do this because I don't want people to know, or I don't want to do this because I'm quite frankly just scared, right?
So talk to me a little bit about how you are leveraging your career that you had in marketing for so many years with the fertility community.
So marketing is very plug and play in a lot of different ways. And I think that if you have that foundation and you have that love for it, and quite frankly, whatever it is that you're looking to market, and you subscribe to it personally, it becomes like a beautiful sort of symphony, and it all just kind of works. And so when I left corporate brand marketing and knew I wanted to do something in the space, I didn't exactly know what it was. I just knew that I wanted to serve the community and give back as much as I really felt like I was receiving from the community as well. I felt like there has to be a way to bring value to this incredible community. And I was able to do that, I think, through and have been able to do that by introducing brands and services that I truly subscribe to and love to the community, not because I'm looking to sell. I don't get anything out of it, but like what I love is that they helped my journey, or may have helped my journey, or I wish that I had known about them during my journey. And they are providing value to the community. And so the community can then leverage and hopefully have an easier time during their journey than I ever had. Because again, like if you look back to even during the time of my not trying back in 2014, and then going into treatment starting, shortly thereafter, I think it's something that was like a full circle, but it took a really long time for me. So if I can speed that up for someone else, because quite frankly, like the process feels like forever, and then there's a lot of hurry ups just to wait. So if I can help just one person feel like they have the resources and tools and that they're not alone during it, then I feel like I'm winning. So that's been fun. And especially because I have a background in marketing strategy and specifically a lot of programming and events and all that kind of thing, I've been able to create events by tapping into other talent in the overall wellness community and fertility as well, but the overall wellness community too, and really bridge that gap too between general market and fertility, because there's something there. I mean, all of us have lives outside of our fertility journeys and our experiences, right? And so we just are not necessarily always talking about it. And a lot of people don't always talk about it. So there is that bridge that I believe is there too, right? It doesn't always have to be just about a specific fertility product or service or what have you. Sometimes it's so much bigger picture than that, which is why I develop events I've called Sunday sessions, and I bring in talent who are doing things that perhaps touch on fertility and wellness, but maybe that's not the entire scope of everything that they do, because again, our lives are so much greater than just this experience. And while this experience feels so huge, and it is so huge, it's a part of our lives, even if that means many years, but it's not the end all be all of our lives, right? Like a friend of mine, Nathalie Carpenter, said something so beautiful and it stuck with me forever. You're not defined by your infertility, right? Like it doesn't have to define you, right? And I may have butchered what she just said, but I'm basically like taking more or less like the crux of it.
Right.
Like it doesn't define you. It sucks.
Right.
It's the club that nobody wants to join. I get that. But it is such an incredible, wonderful community that is to be had now, right? If you know how to get to it. And then what's so much greater is that there's all these other resources that can come from it, and awakenings like, oh my gosh, I need to take care of myself. And that again extends so much greater than just the experience of fertility and all of the shots and the meds and all the stuff that's just not so pleasant. So
right. Yeah, I always think of it as you're in infertility and it's a season in your life. So this too will pass, and you might be in it for years, you might be in it for a short amount of time, but this is not the rest of your life. It will pass.
I love that. And it's true. It's true. Yeah. Maybe a very long time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't define you. Right?
Yes. So tell everybody where they can find you. You've got a wonderful platform on Instagram. So talk about that, and then where else we can find you.
Sure. So from a community perspective, the best place to find me is at Fertilust, and the other places to find me are on Facebook as well. As far as events are concerned, I have a link in my profile on my Instagram for anyone who wants to attend any of my Sunday session events. Interestingly enough, this month in October, the Sunday session events are actually not going to be held on Sunday. I'm pivoting to call my Sunday session events this month Creative Wellness Wednesdays, because the overall arching theme is all about creative and design and wellness. They'll be on Wednesdays and not Sundays because I wanted to make sure that we are observing and honoring the Jewish holidays that are when I would have typically had my Sunday sessions. So we'll go back to Sunday sessions in November, moving forward. And if anyone would like to sign up, again, that profile, that link is in my profile on my Instagram. And for any brands or anyone who's looking to tap into how to understand and really like connect with the community, right? Like in an authentic way, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. And it's just Nathalie Carpenter. I have an H in my name, so it's Nathalie Carpenter. That is about it. Emails hi@fertilust.com. Yeah, that's it.
Love it. Perfect. So tell us, do you have any final thoughts before we close out?
Final thoughts. I'm just really grateful for this community. I'm grateful that this community brought us together. I'm grateful that because of the community, I have been able to meet so many kindred spirits, right? Like it's not like I'm at an age at this point, or many of us are at an age where it's like, oh yeah, I go out and you like meet a bunch of, friends and things like that. And that wasn't even initially my intention when I expanding in my sort of presence in the community, right? Like it just happened authentically, because I think when you share that similar experience with someone else, you become like insta bonded, because it's so intense and so hard, so refreshing to know that you're not alone and that there's like an actual other person that understands like the crazy in your head and all the different things that transpired during the process that other people who may not have gone through it are trying to be supportive of, right? Hopefully, but don't necessarily always get. So it's been amazing that like through this community, I've been able to find, some friends that are like just honestly as close to me as friends that I've known since I was a kid. So that's just, I think that goes to show the power of this beautiful sisterhood that is infertility.
I love it. And same for me. I have met some of the most amazing people. Like we haven't even met. I've just met them online and we're like best friends. And it's because we share this common bond of infertility and working in the space. And it's just amazing. I feel like I have best friends all over the world. So I love that you say that. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It really is so beautiful. It's truly like this world of infertility is like truly such a beautiful, like web of connection. It's unlike anything I would have ever imagined, and how I feel pre-community when it really didn't exist. And even before, when I started, like when I didn't have a voice to feel comfortable enough to even like, peek my head out and talk about it versus now, it's like night and day. Like, I have so much more confidence personally as a result of, I didn't realize that I didn't have, right? Like,
right.
Like, it's not like I ever felt that I wasn't confident, but I feel so much more confident internally as a result of being able to have this beautiful network of support from this community. It's really important for me to feel like the community gets that back for me.
And I definitely think they do. So I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed getting to know you a little better and to hear your story. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, guys. Until next time, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hang on just 1 second before you go. I want to make sure that you are aware of all of the amazing free resources that I have for you on my website at CoachKayla.com. From a fertility meal plan, a cycle syncing quick start guide, a holistic healing cookbook, as well as master classes, blog posts by me and some amazing experts in the fields of fertility, hormones, and nutrition. So many wonderful resources that will help you on your journey. And I wish there had been something like this when I was going through my 2 years of infertility, but there just wasn't. And so that's why I decided to create all of this for you. So make sure that you go and check it out and you take advantage of this plethora of support that I have provided for you. And spoiler alert, these were some of the same tricks and the same foods that I used to get myself pregnant, not once, but twice, even after my doctors said that I couldn't. So I know that these things work. So make sure you take advantage of that. And I cannot wait for you to be my next success story. So thanks, love. See you soon.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. Check out the show notes for today's episode at CoachKayla.com. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and leave a review. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week.